All right. Well, you know, somebody who's trying to make America great again is Donald Trump, who joins us on the line. Donald Trump, do you think you had something to do with Budweiser changing the name of their beer for the summer from Budweiser to America?
I think so. They're so impressed with what our country will become that they decided to do this before the fact.
They got to get a taste of that. By the way, congratulations. You had a couple of big wins last night.
Yeah, it was great. Two great states and great people, and we really appreciate it.
How about what's going on in West Virginia? You know, you have the exit polls. I don't know if you've been listening to the show. We've been talking about these exit polls. People are walking out. These are Democrats. They're registered Democrats, so they had to go to the polls yesterday. They couldn't vote for you. They had to choose between Bernie and Hillary. Bernie wins there. They're coming out, and they're saying now that they would vote for you, Democrats, versus Hillary if it comes down to the two of you guys.
Well, I've heard that, and I've seen that, and I'm not that surprised. You know, we had a rally in West Virginia. It was unbelievable. We had probably 25,000, 30,000 people all told, and it was just an incredible evening. It was under the spirit and everything, and, you know, we're going to put the miners back to work. It's horrible what's happened, and we're going to just put them back to work. And Hillary said, we're going to close the mines, we're going to close up the jobs, we're going to, I mean, I don't even know how she can get any votes, frankly, if you want to know the truth, and frankly, she's not getting too many.
Right.
But
and
she's got problems. She's got a lot of problems. You look at this crazy Bernie character, you look at him, and you see what's going on, and she's got some difficulty. There's no question about it.
I just wanted to clarify. It was 1/3 of the people, the Democrats, were asked who they would vote for between Donald and Hillary, and 1/3 of them said they would vote for you.
And
that's pretty good. I like that number. I bet. You know, considering they're supposed to be Bernie people and they're going to vote for me, I like that.
Right. Sure. So do you think it's time for your team to game plan against Bernie Sanders? Because if you look at the New York Post today, they have a point. Bernie Sanders now won 19 states, and they basically have a fun headline, but based on fact, stop the coronation. So do you have to game plan against Bernie, and if there's an indictment against Biden?
Well, everything really about Hillary is rigged. She looks like she's going to be able to run. That sounds to me like, you know, I mean, how can she run with what she did with emails? So that's maybe rigged. Who knows what's going on? The Democrats seem to control it. It's a horrible thing. And the election, every time you see it, you know, I call him Crazy Bernie because he's not very good, but probably beating him would be easier. Who's going to run against a socialist and lose? I mean, he's a socialist. You're going to pay 95% tax. But I'd love to run against him in one way, but there's something about running against Hillary that I really do.
Sure, I understand that.
Just real quick, Don, but he does better against you head-to-head than Hillary does.
Well, I know, but I've never hit him, don't forget. I haven't started on him. I haven't said anything about him. I would start. Maybe I'm going to have to start based on, you know, I just see he wins, and then everybody sits around the table saying he can't win.
Well, you did tweet about Crazy Bernie today, and suddenly that's trending, so apparently you had some impact on him. You know, the thing about Hillary Clinton in West Virginia, though, she won by a landslide in 2008 against Barack Obama, and she got smoked by Bernie Sanders yesterday. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who runs the DNC, was on with Bret Baier last night about 11:20, and he said, here's Bret Baier asking, hey, this is embarrassing for Hillary, right? Listen to what Debbie Wasserman Schultz had to say to Bret.
Talk about embarrassing. What's embarrassing is that the Republican presumptive nominee, Donald Trump, doesn't have the support of the Speaker, his own Speaker of the House, doesn't have support of either Bush president, has many United States senators and candidates questioning or outright rejecting that they're going to attend their own party's convention because Donald Trump is radioactive, and they know it.
Okay, so she didn't answer the question. What would you like to say about what she just said?
First of all, I think she's a terrible spokesperson. I mean, I just hope she stays in that position because I want her to be speaking against me. I think I'm doing very fine with Paul Ryan. I have a lot of respect for Paul Ryan. We're going to have a meeting tomorrow. We'll see what happens. If we make a deal, that'll be great. And if we don't, we will trudge forward like I've been doing and winning, you know, all the time. Now, I will say this. If you look at the vote count, in the history of the Republican Party, I've got more votes than anybody else running for president. And by the way, we have plenty of states left, which I'll win. So we have plenty of states left. And I do have tremendous support within the party. Now, I'm not going to have the Bushes because I hit Jeb very hard. But remember, I hit him hard. Why did I hit him hard? He spent $12 billion on negative ads on me. Everyone says, oh, you hit Jeb so hard, you know, the low-energy stuff. The truth is Jeb Bush spent $12 million on horrible, negative, and very false ads. They weren't even true on me. And then when I hit him, people say, oh, gee, you hit him hard. So I can understand the Bush family sitting it out. I've been, you know, I did I did a good job, frankly, on this.
Yeah, but what about Jeb taking the pledge?
Well, he lied. I mean, he outright lied. Look, everybody wanted me to take the pledge, so I took the pledge that I would support whoever won. Okay, good. So I took the pledge. Now you have guys like Jeb and lightweight Lindsey Graham, who's a total lightweight. I mean, he totally failed in his campaign, and he does nothing but go on television to speak badly of me. I mean, he's supposed to be running military policy. He said, I've been doing this for years against ISIS. That's
Right.
why, that's the problem we have. Guys like that with the thinking, his thinking is so far off.
Right.
That's why we're getting nowhere with ISIS. That's why ISIS is essentially winning because of, minds like this.
But the thing is, Lindsey Graham has no power. It's the President Obama who's winning or losing against ISIS.
No, but he sets a strategy. They all set it together.
No one
he
listens
sets
to
a
him.
strategy, and nobody listens to him. And frankly, if they did listen to him, it wouldn't get. But he also took the pledge, and he, so it's very dishonorable.
okay.
When you take a pledge and you don't follow the pledge, it's very dishonorable. But that's okay.
Right.
That's
You never
their
know.
problem.
People come around. People won't come around. We'll find out about Paul Ryan. Now, some of the things that Paul Ryan has said in the past that he might have issues with you that will come up tomorrow, we think, you would imagine, was about the, we've learned that the wall, the way it's read by Hispanics is maybe negative. The Muslim ban is another thing. The fact that you didn't disavow David Duke quick enough also bothers him. Those are amongst the things that we learned that Paul Ryan has issues with. Are you willing to talk about that?
Well, I disavowed David Duke very rapidly, and I disavowed him on Twitter and everything else. I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine that being a problem because he was disavowed. The wall is the wall. People want the wall. Drugs are pouring into our country, and the wall is something that people want and the Republican Party wants. And forget about polling because I don't care about polling. I do what's right. But the wall is the wall, and it's going to be built, and the Mexicans are going to pay for it. And I'll tell you, it's going to happen. Mexico is going to pay for it.
There are a lot of people who want that.
What about the temporary Muslim ban?
Well, we have a ban. There are obviously some very bad things going on, and we're going to figure out what's going on, and we're going to be very, very careful. We're allowing Syrians to come in here. We have no idea who they are. We have no paperwork. There's no documentation. They're pouring into the country, our country, by the thousands. You see what's happening in Germany. It's a mess. You look at Sweden and some of these other countries that are taking them. It's a total mess. And I want to be very, very careful. So I'm going to be extremely vigilant and careful.
But careful is one thing, but also you also have saluted the Kurds in the past. You also mentioned the London mayor who just won an election that you wish him the best. So to make a swooping comment about all Muslims and Donald Trump disliking them, that's not correct either, correct?
It's a temporary ban, Brian, and we're going to look at it and we're going to study a problem. We have a problem. Now, if you don't want to discuss the problem, then we're never going to solve the problem. We have a president that won't even use the term radical Islamic terrorism. He won't even use the term. He refuses to say the term, even after Paris, where 130 people were killed, or San Bernardino, or any other place. I mean, he refuses. Our president refuses to discuss the term, and it's a real problem, not only here but throughout the world. It's a real problem. So we'll figure it out, and we will get it going. But we have to be extremely careful. In fact, I'm thinking about setting up a commission, perhaps headed by Rudy Giuliani, to take a very serious look at this problem. But this is a worldwide problem, and we have to be smart.
Well, the meeting is tomorrow, and a lot of people are asking for unity, and they're ready to move forward. A lot of the GOPers are ready to move forward. You've talked last night on Bill O'Reilly's show about your VP list, narrowed it down to 5 people, and you say you're not going to announce your choice until the convention. Why is that?
Well, I just think I want to hold it. I don't have a choice yet. I have 5 or 6 people that I think would be very good. And, I do get a kick out of all of these people say they've decided they don't want to do it. They weren't on the list, none of them. Everybody that talks about being, vice president, they've decided not to do it. They weren't on the list, but that's okay. What difference does it make? Let them have fun. They're politicians. Let them have a good time.
All right, but you're not going to announce till the convention. Why?
Because I think that's traditionally the way it's done, and I like tradition, and I think suspense is a good thing. And honestly, right now I'm vetting various people, and I'll make a determination sometime before the convention, probably announce it during the convention.
Okay.